Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to another video. Today we are doing the long-awaited, the very much asked Q&A. So for anybody that's new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Catherine, but everybody calls me Kate. I'm 27. I live in Ohio. I currently own my home, and I have my two cats, my two dogs. My sibling Ren lives in my basement, and my dad, who's recovering from a heart attack and stroke, lives in my spare bedroom. So that has been my life for the past 3 months or so. So I wanted to do a little get to know me. Lots of things have changed. Lots of new people here since I've hit 20,000 subscribers, which I can't even fathom. I can't fathom 20,000 people liking me enough to like follow my channel, follow my life. So I wanted to give you guys a little treat. So I asked a bunch of you in a post here on YouTube to put down your questions you have, things you want to know about me, things like that. So we are going to get into it, and there's a lot of good ones, and there's a lot of ones I'm like, I don't know if I want to answer. But I'm always very transparent, so I'm going to be as transparent as I can with y'all. Some things I cannot really dive into until some things are in a better place. If that makes any sense, it'll make sense here probably in a few months. So we'll probably do this again. The first question, she said, I had shorter hair in a past video. Will I ever go short again? Here in the fall, maybe, but probably not. I usually cut my hair in the summer just because I get so hot and my hair's always up. So usually I cut it till about like here, maybe here, shoulder length. In college, I had it at my shoulders, but I'm really loving my long hair recently. So probably not. Maybe next year we'll see how we're feeling. Or a lot of times, sometimes I love my long hair, and then sometimes I just get annoyed at it and I'll cut it off. Here we got two questions, kind of lead in the same type of about YouTube. Any tips on growing on YouTube, things like that? I would say find a niche, find what videos do good, and keep posting them. So when I started YouTube, I was doing mainly vlogs. I was in college, doing college day in the life vlogs, and they were not doing good. And then I did like a few where I was playing games, like the stupidest SpongeBob game on my computer, and I was like, you know, like one of those gamers. Those did awful. And it wasn't until recently that I started posting work vlogs, side hustles, and DoorDash vlogs that it really kicked off, because people love to talk about money. So definitely find what works for you, because some people, you know, start out doing just vlogs and they do really well. And then some people have to like work up to it. So what do you suggest someone do to get monetized, to get the watch hours? Y'all, when I tell you, the watch hours are the worst thing to try to get. They were for me because I was at about 10,000 subscribers before I hit the watch hours. Mainly because they mostly came from my shorts, and I needed to make more long form videos. So definitely make more videos or make longer videos, but make sure they are, you know, interesting and people want to watch the whole things. That way the more people watch, the longer they watch, the more watch hours you get. How long did it take you total before you made money on YouTube? 5-6 years, because I started this YouTube channel back in 2020, I believe. I was a senior in college, and that was, you know, COVID, and we barely had any classes because they were all online. So I was like stuck in my dorm room by myself and nothing to do. So I was like, I'm kind of bored. Let me start a YouTube channel. Let me get YouTube famous. And I also kind of wanted to just video what life was during COVID to like look back on, because it was such a crazy time, you know, and here in 10-15 years we'll show our kids like, hey, look, here's what my life was during a pandemic that killed many people. It's, you know, it's crazy. So I also wanted to document that. So it's also something really fun to like look back on. But many years, but I think I would have started making money or got monetized earlier if I stuck with it. I did not stick with it. I kind of did a video, did 2 or 3 videos, and then I'd quit because they were getting 3 views and they were all me from my different Google accounts. So definitely stick with it, even though it feels like no one is watching. So, why is such a cool and motivated woman alone? Good question. I have been single for 2 years now, and honestly, I couldn't tell you why. I'm not one for really dating websites. Like, I get on them and I look, but then I'm like, I just don't want to meet someone on a dating website. I want to meet someone organically, like out and about, and someone sees me and they're like, wow, look at her. I want her number. Maybe I'm a hopeless romantic, but my last relationship lasted about 6 months, but the one before then was in college, and it was about almost 2 years. So I've been in a serious relationship. And this question I have gotten a lot: where is my mother? So, oh, buckle in, y'all. So this also plays into my house. So my family was a very close-knit family. We're all very close. The one thing about me is I absolutely loved my family. I loved being an older sister. And I want to say in 8th grade, we moved out here to the country of Ohio because my grandma was sick and we were taking care of her. And then she passed. So I was really upset about that. I loved my grandma. I called her Bubba. And my mom inherited a lot. And our life didn't really change. We kind of stayed the same. We didn't, suddenly be like, we're rich. And then I want to say a week before I went off to college, my mom told my dad that she wanted him out. It was like, what? So they separated. And then I want to say in 2023, I was living with my best friend, the one that I'm going on a cruise with. And I don't know, I felt like I needed something else. I was like, we're not going anywhere, we're not doing anything. I'm like, I need something. So I'm like, let's go look at houses. So I asked my mom because I was working at Amazon. I had a good job, making good money. Working there for 2 years. I had good money saved up. I was like, if I have $4,000 or $5,000, if you could, I asked her if she could help me with $4,000 or $5,000 for a down payment. And she said, yeah. So we were looking at houses, and I probably should have went and make sure I got a loan first, because we didn't. We just immediately went into looking at houses. But I didn't know how things worked. So we looked at a few houses, and they were kind of duds, and I was like, okay, well, never mind, I'll look in again in a few years. And then my mom sent me the listing for this house, and we went and saw it. It was like very big in the market. Like literally the day that they put it on the market, they already had like 2 or 3 offers. And we were looking at the house. I'm like, I love it. I love the hardwood floors. I'm like, but, oh shoot. I'm like, in my head, I was like, oh shoot, we need to go into town and see if I can apply for a loan, because we didn't have a loan, which you're supposed to do before you go look at houses, by the way. And my mom's like, okay, we'll put an offer in. I'm like, what? No, I can't put an offer in. I don't got a loan. And she's like, we'll put an offer in. And she paid fully for the house, and both our names are on it, and I would be paying her rent for I think we said 10-15 years. Didn't sign anything. It was just kind of between me and my mom. It was good. I loved my mom, and it was all good. I was happy as could be. I was paying her rent, and that went on for 2 more years. And then I went to a new job as a 911 dispatcher. And then I was there for 3-4 months and hated the people there and quit. And I was like, yeah, I'm just going to look for a job. And around that time, my mom got back with her boyfriend that she was on and off again. He lived in another state. And they were going to start up the farm, because my mom lives on a farm that just didn't have any farm animals. And so they were going to start a farm, which was very odd to me, because my mom was not someone that does farm work. So I was like, okay. And so they were like, why don't you come work on the farm and I'll pay you? And I was like, okay. And then I was going over every morning, 7 a.m. and work until 3-4 in the afternoon, mostly with her boyfriend. He was fine, and it was all good. And then they were they were talking, it'd be so much easier if you lived here. So I moved back home. So that's where the farm era comes in. If you look at my past videos, I was on a farm. Absolutely loved it. I loved working on the farm. I loved the farm animals. And I lived there for about 10 months. And towards the end, my mom got sick. She was in and out of the hospital. Her boyfriend was there with her. And I was taking fully care of the farm, all the animals, my 16-year-old sister in the dead of winter. It was rough, but your girl did it. And then I believe, I don't even know when, it was after the new year, Mom came home. Me and her boyfriend had an altercation, and my mom told me to get out, shoved me out, and I left, and I haven't been back, and I haven't really talked to her since. You know, if she's done this with almost all her children. Her boyfriend has created issues with all her children and all their boyfriends, and not mine, but my two sisters. And so yeah, that is just who she is, and I'm to the point where I don't care if you want to be with a man that lies and cheats and creates issues with all your children. That's you, girl. So yeah, that is where my mother is. And with the house, I thought everything was Gucci. I came back to my house. I've lived here. I went from job to job. I've been paying her rent. And then after my dad moved in, there was like rumblings from my youngest sister that, you know, something was up with the house. I was like, what was up? And let's just say Mom is not, you know, with the house, you know, us both being on it, and she wants the house back. I'm like, no, we didn't sign anything. Yes, both their names are in it. I've lived here for almost 4 years. I'm taking care of my disabled father, and you're trying to put me out on the street? So, really, it's crazy when you see someone in front of your eyes change for a man. So, that's all I'm going to say on that. Next question. Would you ever move to another country for love? Yeah, it depends on what country, though. As long as they, you know, have electricity, internet, ice water, air conditioning, maybe. What are your next 5 holiday destinations on your wish list? Ooh, that's a good one. Your girl really wants to go to the UK. I really want to do a summer in Europe. You know, go to all the places, Europe, Paris, France, Greece, all that. I also want to go to Hawaii, you know, go to the beaches. I also want to go to Australia, Dubai, I'm trying to think, and South Korea. Those are like the top ones I really want to go to. So hoping once we, you know, start doing repairs on my house and get things fixed up and I can start putting money aside, I can do a little bit of traveling. What's your favorite color? Green, if you couldn't tell. Mostly like sage green. So yeah, that's my favorite color. What posting schedule would you recommend? It definitely depends on what you can do. You know, if you're working all the time, it doesn't make sense for you to be posting 3 to 5 times a week. So a lot of people do like once a week, twice a week, or maybe, you know, once or twice a month. So it definitely depends, but I've seen crazy amounts of success the more I posted. So before I did the third summer of posting, I was posting anywhere from 1 to 3 times a week, and then I'd have like a week or 2 where I didn't post just because, you know, I fell off and people were like, where are you? So that's why I decided to do the summer of posting. How do you come up with video ideas and plans for filming them? Y'all, it just comes to me. I'll be driving and I'll just be like, that'll be a good idea. Or a lot of times there's like things I want to go do, and then I'll just make it into content, like going on the cruise. That's probably gonna be 6-7 videos in itself. I could do one whole video, but I felt like one that's gonna be super long, and 2, I'd rather have a bunch of videos that people can, you know, a bunch of people can watch. Rather than just one huge long video, because it's very hard to hold people's attention on long videos, I feel. If you could visit anywhere in the world and money no object, where would you go? That is a good question. Australia. I don't know, something about Australia calls to me. I want to go to Australia. Do you have a P.O. box? You'd love to send me some. I do not have a P.O. box. A lot of people have asked me, so I might get one when I come back from my cruise. Tell us about your pets and how you got them. Okay, so this one is May. May. This is May. I got her like legit the month after I got the house back in 2023. So she's 3 years old. Yeah, she's my crazy girl. Huh. Crazy Bernese girl. And then down here is Geo, the Great Pyrenees, and I got him probably a year after I got May. And then my two cats, Book and Pumpkin. Book I got back in college because I wanted a little dorm kitty. And then Pumpkin I got back in 21. Call and she shall come. Here's Pumpkin. Daisy was Pumpkin. I got her back in 2022, I believe. Me and my sister found her in the streets of little town. And she was a baby feral kitten, and I took her home. Huh, she's my baby. What tips do you have for keeping positive? So that's also something I really struggle with. But a lot of times I just tell myself things could be worse. You know, things could be worse. You could be out on the street, living in a box, whatever. So that is one thing I always tell myself. And it kind of cheers me up. So definitely that. And then also things always get better, even though I don't know why, you know, I was down or, you know, down on my luck or like I wasn't understanding at the time. I always knew around the corner was something better. What are you looking most forward to on my cruise? Oh girl, probably drinking strawberry daiquiris and seeing some hot men. That's what I'm looking forward to. Now, how you're doing being a caregiver and all? I am doing well. I'm doing better. If you guys didn't know, I was doing not well the first like month or so Dad was here, just because I went from, you know, just taking care of myself to taking care of a whole nother person, you know, cooking for him, cleaning, and, you know, taking care of meds and doctor visits and all that stuff. It was exhausting. But now that Dad is a little more moving and getting better, he is definitely taking more responsibility for things, so that I'm grateful for. This one's a good question. Do I have any anxieties or reservations about becoming a big-time influencer content creator? Sometimes. I think a lot of people, you know, they say, you know, you want to be influencer paid, but not an influencer. I definitely feel that too, because like, I don't know, I feel like I'd be like, if someone's like, oh my god, I love your channel, I'll be like, thanks. I'm very awkward. I'm very shy. So like in theory, I would love it. Just because being a big time content creator opens up so many doors for you that you wouldn't get just by being an everyday person that just goes to work. But you know, if that's the price to pay for a little uncomfortability, I will. Are your siblings full or half? So I have 3 younger siblings, and they are my full siblings. And then I have an older half sister that was from my dad's first marriage. She lives about 2 hours away. She has 3 kids, so 2 nieces and a nephew for me. Do you always see yourself living in Ohio? Yes. I love Ohio. I love people. I would like to live other places just for a short while, just to experience it, you know. That girl living in New York or Chicago or living abroad, I would love to just do it. So yeah, I could be like, oh yeah, back in my 30s I lived in Europe, you know. I feel like do it for the plot. It'd be fun, and it'd be like new experiences that you can't get in Ohio. But I'd also love to return to Ohio and, you know, raise a family in Ohio, just because I feel like it is the best place to do that. What motivated to keep you going with YouTube? Y'all, it is seeing other YouTubers make it. When I saw other people that, you know, were making full-time incomes or more, buying houses and cars fully from YouTube, I'm like, that needs to be me. And I grabbed onto it with both hands like a crackhead. I was like, it needs to be me. It needs to. I cannot just keep doing where I'm going through, you know, job from job or, you know, barely making it by. I need more than this. And that was my motivation. Was I wanted more for my life. I wanted to do more. I wanted to travel. I wanted to experience more to life than just working and barely getting by. And to do that, you need multiple streams of income. And a good one is YouTube. What's your dating life like? Non-existent, y'all. I don't know. I just, like, sometimes I want a boyfriend, and sometimes I don't. But like, it's not like, you know, guys that are banging down their door to meet me. So If you had only one fast food restaurant to eat for a year, what would it be? Probably Skyline Chili. Love me some Skyline Chili. They have great food. What is your dream job if money was no issue? Probably would be not to have a job, but to have an unlimited source of money. But I'd also like to, open my own bookstore, like I said before, just because I love books, I love reading, and I feel like that would be like a fun business to have, especially about something I love doing. My sibling Ren, does Ren have a channel? She does not. I've been telling her she should get one and start one because so many people ask, and she's been debating. I'm like, you need to film your DoorDash videos, because I swear Ren gets up to the craziest things and sees the craziest shit while she's door dashing, and I'm like, you need to video this, you need to vlog it. Like, yeah. So I don't know, I think she just needs like a better camera, because the one on her phone is okay. But maybe when can get a camera, I will let you guys know and send you all to her channel when it's there. Favorite book genre? You guys aren't ready for this. I don't know if you've heard about these books, but they are reverse harem. So it's like one girl and multiple boyfriends. I love those books. They're just like, ooh, do I want multiple boyfriends? No. Sometimes I don't even want one. But I don't know, I just like those books. I also like romance, paranormal romance, alien romance. I love those books. But I also love, oh, hello. Ma'am, we're doing a video. Okay. I also love just regular romance, cute little love stories. Do you think your dad will get healthy enough to live by himself? Possibly. It's just kind of more of a wait and see, but we told him there's really no need. Eventually, I would love to upgrade houses, make sure everyone has an actual bedroom. So I can see us all just going into a bigger house maybe here in a few years together, because why would I put him in his own little house and have him pay the exorbitant rent when I have a house and a room and no children, taking up space. So if he wants to stay, he can. I don't mind. What GLP are you on? I am on the it's going to be the GLP-3. It is not out yet, so it's a secret. It is called Retatrutide, but a lot of people call it Retta. It is a mix of the GLP-1 and the GLP-2, but it works like so much better. They're seeing so much better results. And I've seen it within the first day of, the next day of me taking it. I'm down 13 pounds in the almost first month. So that's pretty great for me. So I love it. So that's probably just gonna have to wait till it comes out, because I can't share my sources. I'm sorry. Bookstore that open, will you sell used or new books? Yes, I will sell used and new. I love a variety. I love going to used bookstores. I also like going to new bookstores. Any and all books, I want to sell them. So yeah, I'm excited for that. I have an entire Pinterest board to my bookstore. What is your favorite place you've ever visited? Definitely would be Iceland, Reykjavik, Iceland. I went there after I graduated high school. Absolutely gorgeous place. Oh my goodness, gorgeous, gorgeous, beautiful, fresh, crisp air, beautiful sights everywhere. The people were amazing and so friendly, and I loved it. I definitely want to go back. And will you get to drive a van or a bus this school year? Yes, I did get the call that I will be driving the van this year. So that's going to start here in August, and I believe we're going to get me started on driving a school bus too and getting certified for that. You always talk about your student loans. Why don't I use my college degree? I have my college degree, Bachelor of Arts in Criminal Justice, and I was going to become a police officer. It was my dream through middle school, through high school, and almost all through college. And it wasn't until about my senior year where I was just like, I have very protective instincts, but I was like, is this yes, I kind of want to do the job, but I also don't want to die for it, get shot and killed for it, risk my life for it, because I want to do so much more with my life. I wanted to, travel and see the world and start a family, and I don't want to do that, but also have the constant risk of being killed. So I was like, I don't think I want to go into that field anymore. So, but I still got the degree, and I was still looking at doing it. After I graduated, me and my friend Natalie were both looking at going to Washington, but due to COVID, all their for their police, they were pushing things back and pushing things back. And it was like kind of hitting the time of like, okay, we need to decide, are we staying in Ohio, or do we go to DC with what little money we have and wait around for these jobs to open up? Because she was still looking for a job there and having little to no success in her degree. So we ultimately said, let's stay in Ohio, maybe find jobs for a year or two, and then go see about going to DC. And then after that, I think we just gave up on the DC job, or on the DC dream. So, but we're also grateful that we did not go due to current affairs. And we're like, man, we think about it all the time, like, man, we'd be right there in the middle of all that bullshit in DC if we moved there. So grateful that I did not, and I stayed in Ohio. So yeah, that is my Q&A, get to know me. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any more questions. I'll try to answer all of them down below. Some things I didn't want to go too much into. Hopefully, yeah, later dates, we'll see. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.